So we got a really interesting quote from Jeremy Swayman, who was voted by fans into the 2024 NHL All-Star Game. This comes via Scott McLaughlin. Jeremy said, "After dealing with what I did this summer with arbitration, hearing things that a player should never hear, it feels pretty special to be in this situation." And this is quite interesting because you don't often hear players or general managers talk about arbitration other than it being a thing that sometimes happens. For those who don't know, arbitration is used for NHL players who are restricted free agents and can't agree to a deal with their team. According to sportingnews.com, there were 22 players who filed for salary arbitration in the 2023 offseason. How does it work? Well, this is the interesting part. Essentially, the team and the player, as represented by their agent, usually appear before a neutral arbitrator. The player has to argue their value while the team is trying to argue down the player's value, and that's why Jeremy Swayman is saying that it was an unpleasant experience where he heard things that he otherwise wouldn't have wanted to. It's an unfortunate situation because team management essentially is forced to bring up the worst aspects of the players, what they see as their true weaknesses. I'm sure a lot of these things the players are already aware of, but teams might do everything from saying, "Hey, we've also got Allmark," to going deep into the analytics and saying, "Oh, Swayman is really bad against shots from this part of the ice." They joked on Chicklets about how they'll bring up anything, even the fact that the dude doesn't like showering with the boys after the game. Anyway, just an interesting bit of insight into how that affects players. I mean, he's still thinking about it now. It happened in the offseason, where, by the way, he was given a salary of $3.475 million. I'll end this video with one tangential note. I also wanted to talk about Georgiev being voted into the All-Star game. Georgiev, I mean, I like the guy. He was backup to Shesterkin. I'm glad that Colorado is finding success with him as their netminder, but I mean, just look at his stats. He's got a sub-9 save percentage. Should he really be in the All-Star game? Does fan voting really make a lot of sense? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on Georgiev or whatever else you want down below.